How to Create a Chevron Background by Julie Fei-Fan Balzer, featuring the Balzer Designs Chevron Stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. So I made this layout here you can see and love, which has this white on white chevron background, which I really loved. So I wanted to show you how easy it is to make it, and that's what we're going to do today. So I have 2 pieces of pink paper. It's important to pick 2 pieces, I think, in the same colorway. I think it looks best that way. And I'm using this chevron stencil that I designed for the Crafter's Workshop. Now I'm going to use a white pen just to show you where you're going to be tracing, but you certainly don't have to do this step if you're actually doing it at home. So you can see I'm just using a white China marker to show you exactly where to trace, and then the pattern should come clear. Then I'm going to count up 3 spaces, and in the 3rd space, so I skip 2, that's where the next chevron goes. And then I'm going to continue to do this all up and down the stencil so that you can see exactly where you need to trace. Okay, so now I'm going to flip the paper over, and just using a ballpoint pen, I'm going to go ahead and trace on my stencil. And it goes pretty fast because these are not tiny lines. So you could do tiny lines if you wanted, but these are big chunky pieces. Then I'm just going to grab some scissors and I'm going to cut out my chevrons. Now I actually don't have to do the whole page of them. I need to get probably about 4 chevrons in order to cover my whole page. So I just cut those out. And the very top one you can see is not quite complete because the stencil didn't go all the way to the top edge. So I'm just laying one of the completed ones on it, and I see that there are some little tiny inner triangles I missed. So I'm going to trace those, and then I'll just cut them out as well. And then I will have 4 pieces that will perfectly go together. You could probably get away with doing 3 if you really split it well and use the castaway part, but 4 makes it easier. Now I'm putting adhesive only in the centers of all of these chevrons because I want to stitch down the edges, and I don't want the adhesive to gunk up my machine. So I'm putting this slightly over the top edge of my piece of paper because I want it to be a really clean edge, and this way I will flip it over and I'll trim away that little edge that's left, and then I'll have a really clean look at the top. So I'm going to continue and do the same with the rest of these, and you'll notice that I use one of the other chevrons for spacing. You don't have to, but I just think it means that it's always even and clean every time. So I just add the other ones, and then when it comes to the last one, I actually use this one that I haven't cut up yet, and I hold it against it, and then I can sort of figure out exactly where the next one needs to go. So now I'm going to put it in a paper trimmer, and you could also use scissors, and I'm just going to trim away the excess paper that's there and cut off the little edge. And now I've taken it to the machine, and I'm just using a regular straight stitch, and I'm stitching along the edges of the chevron. I just think it gives it a really pretty look and unifies the background and makes it feel like one big piece. So trimming all the threads off takes a little bit, but it's worth it. And there you go, beautiful chevron paper. I hope you'll give it a try, and if you enjoyed it, please visit my blog at balzerdesigns.typepad.com.